Welcome to Eye on the Tigers, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce the class of 2015 Top 10. I'd like to introduce number 10 was Hannah Bittner, number 9, Sophia Raymond, number 8, Sydney McCombie, number 7 is Tori Towndrow, number 6, the only gentleman to make the top 10, Robert Pritchard, number 5 is Maura Roach, number 4, Liz Boulay, number 3 is Andrea Ross. The salutatorian to my left is Alyssa Ross. And of course, the valedictorian to my right is Hunter Gowans. You are certainly to be commended. This is quite the accomplishment. I am interested to know, as you moved into your senior year, is there a sense of where you fall in rankings? Do you know where you are? Is this a big deal?
I do. I checked at the end of every year.
You checked at the end of every year, you knew where you were?
Yep.
Coming into this year, where were you?
I was number 1.
You were number 1. So this was important.
Yeah.
And you were would you describe yourselves as being competitive?
Extremely.
Extremely.
I basically did not check.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know my average until I read it at the student.
I never knew my average
I used to check like Hunter, like I would check like after the marking periods, and I was 4 for a little while because we're really close, and then I went down to 5 at the end because I think we're like
We're all really close.
Yeah, 0.1 off each other. I think I've been 7 for the past 2 years.
Yeah, we're all over
97.
Yeah.
I never checked.
I checked like when it was like printed on the report card at the end of the year or whatever, but I never really cared.
Yeah, I think freshman year I saw a bunch of people fighting over their ranks, and I decided that I did not want to check mine until they gave it to me.
I never felt that my rank defined how successful I was or defined me, so I didn't think it was as important to check.
Well, let's talk about that, because there has been some controversy. You probably have read about some of this over the last several years, not just nationally, but also locally, that some schools are getting away from ranking. We haven't decided to do that. Do you have an opinion about that? Obviously, you're in the top 10, so you probably feel pretty good about the ranking. But do you have an opinion about this?
I would get away with it.
I would do away with it because it's more about the actual GPA than the ranking, because all of us are above 97.
Yeah, I think you should still be rewarded for challenging yourself and taking challenging classes, and like GPAs are good, but I think having a class rank and having it be public just adds a lot of stress and unnecessary competition.
I think it can be distracting.
Having high role is one thing, but putting ranks on it.
And kids will purposefully, well, not this year, but I know in other years, kids have taken easier classes to boost their class rank so they can be higher. And I mean, none of us did that, but I know
Yeah, in the past 2 years.
Well, that's a pretty good segue to my next question, because I look, and I've had most of you, or all of you in class, and looking at your schedules, you all take tough classes. You're all in, not just tough classes in the liberal arts, but also the sciences and math. Why? What's challenged you to really, none of you take a break. You're all taking really difficult classes. Where does that come from?
I get bored if I don't do anything.
Yeah.
Homework is so busy.
Yep.
And honestly, I wanted to be ready for college. It was more about being ready for college
And
than anything.
you save a lot of money.
Yeah,
Taking ABs, you save a And ton of honestly, money. Regents classes are they're too easy, so you just sit and it's just okay.
I feel like, what's the point of going to school when I'm in 10 in class?
Some of the AP classes I took, I feel are classes I probably wouldn't take in college, and I wanted to go through my life having more than just a high school understanding of it. So I thought an AP would be a good way to do that.
So you've all taken hard classes. What's the one that really drove you crazy? What was the one? Let's start with you. Let's start down at the top. What was the hardest class? This one was really tough.
For me, it was honestly AP Calc.
Yeah.
That was my only AP class.
Sydney, how about you?
Oh, AP Calc.
AP Calc. Robert?
AP Chem.
AP Chem.
Yeah.
AP Chem. I hear that. Liz?
AP US was the most time consuming. So
How about you, Alyssa?
Probably AP Calculus.
AP Calculus. Hunter?
AP Lit. I'm
AP
not a reader or writer, so that was difficult.
That was difficult.
I would say A push because again, like the workload and how much time, it's just like it's rewarding, but it was very hard for like time commitment.
Time, okay.
AP Cal.
AP Calc. Well, more didn't have to think too much about that.
AP Calc, it was all new stuff. Yeah, AP Calc.
AP Calc. Your success doesn't come easily. And probably some people would look at your numbers and say, oh, well, it just comes easy. But I know you all well enough to know that it doesn't just come easy, that there's a lot of hard work that comes into it. Can you give me a sense, or give us a sense, of what it takes, what you've done over the last, not just 4 years, but really 12, 13 years?
Dedication.
That is,
Longer than dedication.
well, what does that mean, dedication? Explain that to me, Tori.
Wanting to do good and just keep wanting to keep it up.
And when you talk about dedication, so it's 10 o'clock and you're not done yet. And it's 11 o'clock and you're not done yet.
You're not sleeping till the weekend.
You keep going
and you're not done yet.
You have to get up in an hour. You better learn to take power naps. I'm just saying.
You have to accept permanent.
I have not done that.
Would you agree, though, that a lot of people don't recognize that that's part of it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I was agreed. I think I've definitely sacrificed more sleep than anything.
Oh yeah.
It's just a constant effort.
Like-
You always have to keep trying.
I went to that. I had a couple mental breakdowns.
But
But it helps if you have friends who are doing the same thing. Like, I know Maura and I over here FaceTime every time we have something hard to do, and we just complain about it, and it just helps it. I don't know. It just helps to get it done. Yeah. The stress off.
Can you talk a little bit, so dedication has been a key. What are some other keys? What are some other factors that have helped you succeed?
Work ethic is the main one. When I took A Push and AP Bio the same year, and that was like the first kind of like wake up call because I went from region classes to this, and you definitely have to manage your time. And it's just kind of something that's now I'm used to.
Sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
You have to give up a lot. Like you can't
Can't
go out
go
with
out.
like friends
Yeah.
all the time.
I think you can though. I mean, being a
Not all the time. That's
I think
just
so.
like some
I really don't do any work at home.
Yeah.
like I've
My sleep schedule's fine.
like I'll be able to go to a basketball game and you know I still come home and get homework done. You know, Like- it's maybe later at night, but I didn't have to sacrifice
That's
going
what
with my friends.
That was my other point. I look around the room and all of you, at nearly every part of the year, are involved in either working after school. I know a couple of you have jobs, a few of you have jobs after school, and then all of you are involved in some type of extracurricular, whether it's the band or athletics. Do you even know what to do when you have a spare moment?
No.
That's happened before, and I was like,
I watch a lot of
I read
I
sit down and then I'm out.
I'm doing 2 weeks yesterday, so I'm coach.
Yeah. Have you ever not had homework and then tried to go to sleep and then you couldn't go to sleep?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, and you keep waking up because you're like, what do I have to do? I have to do something tonight.
Yes, the time right after spring sports season's let out, and I have no homework because AP testing's done, no sports, I don't know what to do myself. I just go home, get a bag of chips, vegetate on the couch, maybe watching TV, and I don't do anything. I don't know what to do with myself.
And it feels awkward.
I hate it.
Yeah, it feels like I'm not doing it.
Love it. Yeah, I don't know what you guys are complaining about.
But it seems that. Advice. You're out of here in just about a month. Do you have some advice for underclassmen? Advice for underclassmen and advice for maybe some middle school students who are watching and they're looking to.
For middle school students, I would say don't be afraid to challenge yourself. For high school students, don't wait till the last minute to apply for college because I did that. And I mean, it's working out now, but it's a lot of stress, unnecessary stress.
I would say, don't be afraid to take those harder classes because they all pay off in the end. But I'd also say, don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to get involved. Don't be afraid to do something after school or get involved in an activity because if you go home every day after school and like you're sitting on the couch or you're on the computer or you're playing video games, it's wasting a lot of potential memories and really good times.
Don't be afraid to ask teachers for extra credit. The worst thing they can say is no, and it helps a ton. So like, if your grade is low and you're freaking out, then just ask for extra credit because I did that a lot, and usually they are willing to help, and then you feel a lot better. So.
Okay.
It helps.
if you actually turn in your homework, I can't say how many people I know who don't.
Yeah.
But that's when you don't ask for extra credit. You do your homework and then you ask for extra credit.
That's pretty good advice right there.
Plan your homework.
Yeah, just do it.
It's worth it.
And definitely don't be afraid to ask your teacher for help. If you need help on a subject, approach your teacher and say, hey, I really don't understand this. Can you explain it to me? And they will go through step by step how to do it, and you'll have a complete different understanding of it. You'll understand it. It'll be easy to do.
I think math teachers are the best with that.
Math teachers
all the
are the best
time.
with that.
They were more than
We got a solid math department
yeah.
in school.
Definitely.
I would say to maintain respect for your teachers too, because I know we didn't really do that so much, but I notice a lot of kids just like lose interest in what their teachers have to say and just don't try for their classes at all. I wouldn't give up trying altogether, and I would make an effort to work with your teacher, because really your education isn't about just you.
Yeah, and if you don't like learning, like if you don't enjoy going to school, if there's things that you don't enjoy, then I don't think you should pressure yourself to do those things, but there's a lot of other things you can do, like that you don't have to take APs. Like if you hate math, but you want to go into teaching or something like that, like you don't have to do things that you're going to hate because it's going to make you miserable. But there's plenty of other things you can do that aren't advanced classes and extra things, like you can volunteer. There's things you can do after school that will help you out more than stressing yourself over something that you're not going to like.
And everything you do will help you. So like people, I think probably a lot of kids they're like, oh, this is stupid. Why am I even doing this? Well, like you're just doing it for yourself. So I mean, you can not do your homework and not do well in school, but the only person you're going to hurt is yourself. So the teachers, I mean, they care about you, but they aren't the ones getting the diploma, and they aren't the ones with your future.
There's a lot of tools here at Mexico, and a lot of people don't pick those tools up. And if you don't pick those tools up, then you're not going to be able to build anything.